Hey everybody, today's Wednesday and it's Wednesday all day. You're on Big Game Hunters on the Magna Search Group.tv network, hashtag MagnaOnAir. Today we have Landon Hood in the house.
Hey guys.
And I'm Michael Flint, your co-host on tonight's broadcast. Make sure you sign up to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Stitcher, iTunes,
YouTube, Google+, Instagram. Instagram's a big one for us.
Stick that hashtag MagnaOnAir in your browser. Lots of stuff will come up, some great stuff about what we're doing. And
we love hearing from you guys as well. So, we love to interact with our audience. It's the best way that content comes out flowing. So, today we're going to talk about skills. We deal all the time in the recruitment industry with employers and employees, and it's always that struggle, right? We got to find the best talent out there, but the candidates also want to find the best fit for them. And oftentimes we'll see from clients, they want to hire 33%, using our industry stats that we've come up with, 33% say that they're actively looking to hire right now, whereas about 75% say they struggle to find the right talent that fits within the organization, experience level, skill level, all of that. And so the struggle can be for candidates is, how do I get that experience level if, they're only looking to hire people with that experience? It's sort of a very cyclical sort of chicken egg situation.
That's right. It's practical skills versus conceptual education in many cases. Some of the key industries that are hot right now that are influencing what's happening out there in the job market include healthcare and all the industries within healthcare, which is medical supplies, dental, vascular surgery, any of that type of stuff. Doctors, nurses, specialties within the medical profession. Technology, inclusive of gaming, mobile, project management and security, as well as data analytics, knowing what's going on and having the reporting.
Big data.
Big data.
Oh yeah, we're getting that all the time. I love working on big data jobs. But it's depending on the industry. It really depends on ways you can really leverage your experience that you already have, find ways to really build on your skills to make yourself more attractive to employers. I mean, if you're looking at, for instance, in the financial services sector, even in the, trying to get into a management level role, a really important thing is, emotional intelligence. There's that old adage, people who are successful, there's way more of a direct correlation to their EQ than there is to their IQ. And so the way to really build up your skill set in terms of being able to communicate to people on an emotional level, as Mike and I do all the time,
very emotional,
and be able to really just deal in that sort of workplace environment, is to be able to understand people. And that comes, as a young person, if you're looking to build up that, travel is huge. You see this all the time, like executive level people, they have that worldly experience, and not necessarily just from getting a job and being sent to places. No, they're doing that on their own. They either grew up internationally, they traveled as a young person. That's one of the biggest pieces of advice we get from executive level talent all the time is, when you're young,
multicultural,
don't necessarily have to get the nuclear family when you're 21, and that obviously isn't happening anymore these days. But go travel. It's huge. Really helps you understand, especially in this day and age, as we're becoming more and more multicultural in society, and the world is becoming flatter and flatter. It's really important to be able to interact with different cultures and relate to different cultures. And you don't want to just be in your little bubble.
It may seem obvious, but opening yourself up to other cultures may give you insight and understanding as to actually why yes can sometimes mean no.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, a big part of, understanding how to deal with people too. That's very important. But also, there's the other side of things too. If you don't necessarily have the technical skills to interact or to get the job or even get your foot in the door for an interview, there's ways to really build those up. You can do deep industry knowledge. I know of clients, candidates who, they were looking for a job maybe a little bit more senior than they have the skill set for, the experience for. So what they did is they took the time to really build up that skill set. You do the deep dive in the industry knowledge. Google is your friend, my friend. You can spend so much time really understanding the latest in industry trends, the latest in market research. Go to conferences, attend webinars. There's meetups that you can go to. There's so many different platforms in this day and age, and so much different data that you can access. You can really become knowledgeable on a subject even without that experience, and then using that knowledge to leverage within your own role. Use that marketing knowledge to leverage it within your sales role. You can then apply it in that job interview. Say, hey, listen, I wasn't a marketing manager, but as a salesperson, I was really applying these marketing concepts. In fact, I was reading from blah, blah, blah. And then you come across as a very knowledgeable person within that industry, and you become way more attractive to the client. And it's
the employers that we're talking to, they say it's not more education a candidate needs. It's the experience and real world experience and how you apply that to your job. So interpersonal skills and technical ability is really what they're zeroing in on. And the soft skills are outweighing the technical. So just to give you a framework for that, experience in the workplace accounts for about 38% of what they're looking for. The soft skills, which is basically just knowing how to interact with individuals and motivate. Communication plays a big part in that one as well, are more important than the technical skills that come in at 23%. Education, in terms of what they're looking for, that they're not finding in candidates, is only around 4 or 5%.
Yeah. No, soft skills, I mean, there's a variety of different ways to build those up. And obviously that just comes from life as well. And in this day and age, our soft skills, I mean, the younger generation can struggle because you don't really build those up on MSN leading into text messaging, leading into chat. And so it is important to really take the time to, understand, read up on, effective ways to communicate, read up on effective ways to get your point across, and really, talk to your friends about these issues, talk to your friends about your job. And then that you'll become so much more used to just communicating about it instead of just plugging in, plugging out, and going home. That those soft skills will become something you can really rely on in a job interview and in your career going forward. Yeah,
I totally agree with that. Fundamentals, basics 101 that everybody has to have. Doesn't matter if you're a trades professional or a frontline individual in an organization. Your Microsoft Office suite of products, know them. Computer literacy. Reporting, documentation, obviously computer use. Those are fundamentals in every job. The new literacy in today's world is digital literacy.
No, absolutely. I mean, we've discussed this again earlier, but I mean, a huge part of today, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, but if there's certain software that you can learn that can be a huge, and not only advantage in your performance, but an advantage in getting the job. We've come across the big data, come across the project management software, come across Tableau, MongoDB for developers, Google Analytics. If you know Google Analytics, I don't care what industry you're in, that's going to help you get that job, and that's going to help you perform, because it's just a way, it's all about increasing efficiency. And, employers are looking for communication, employers are looking for positive energy, employers are working for somebody who's efficient, and somebody whose face they want to see every single day.
That's right. And included in that digital literacy, which is part of the conversation we're having, is those social media skills. So they're essential for a wide range of roles, whether it's human resources, sales and marketing, business administration, any frontline position, and I guess marketing is probably the biggest one. But without question, you need to have the aptitude to exist on a number of platforms.
And true knowledge of social media, not necessarily, oh yeah, I know social media, I post on Facebook all the time. Social media as it pertains to engaging your audience, as it pertains to driving that through your business objectives through, engaging your audience. You want to have a voice on there, and that takes time, that takes, a lot of commitment. So, and there's a lot of, this has happened over the last 4 or 5 years. A lot of companies just say, hey, we need our social media guy, like, social media, you young kids, but, if you could, somebody who can effectively engage, that's critical.
Okay, top 10 skills that employers are looking for in 2015, 2016 are...
HTML5 is huge. Social media, certainly that's been the last few years. Big data has become more and more every few years. Every year we see this more and more. NoSQL for developers out there, it's become a big one. jQuery as well. MongoDB. If you're in project management, Tableau is an effective software tool to learn, as well as Smartsheet. Shout out to Smartsheet. Google Analytics. Been important in the last 5-6 years. Also, it's becoming more and more of a thing that, Google's obviously becoming more and more in depth. There's more in-depth ways you can use Google Analytics. So if you're, you might know Google Analytics just like you might know social media, but take the time to go on YouTube and actually truly watch a Google Analytics tutorial. Spend a few hours doing it. It's just, it'll be so inherently valuable. And JSON, of course, key for developers. And if you're out there doing building information modeling, I keep on harping on it. I love you, Revit. It's very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Key things employers are looking for. They're looking for work ethic, communications, customer relationships, teamwork abilities, and stability, integrity, character, all those type of things. So
if you're emotionally unstable, we don't want you in our office.
Well, I kind of just meant from a career perspective. Don't hop around, stay in, learn an industry,
but
understand
also
how the moving parts work. But also don't be crazy. Yeah, that's probably a good way to get hired.
I tell my girlfriends that all the time too.
Listen, when I talk to people, I tell them, like, from a character perspective, it's important to communicate who you are as an individual, because if the employer wants to, or the interviewer wants to invite you into their own house for dinner because you're that interesting, that's a really good sign. You're going to get hired. Companies want to know, hey, can Buddy do this job really, really well, and will I like him? Will he be a good influence on my team? So if you can invite him in your house for dinner, that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's money talks. Skilled candidates are in demand, and it's you have options to build your skills. All right, guys, that's all the time we have from Big Game Hunters. I'd like to thank my adorable co-host Michael Flint, as well as our producer Johnny. We're having a great time out here. Hashtag MagnaOnAir, MagnaSearchGroup.tv. Check us out. Again, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn is an awesome tool as well. Engage us, ask us questions. What do you want to hear us talk about? We're here for you guys. Until next week.
Hashtag MagnaOnAir. Boom.